This week I'm going to base my reflection upon learning theory by Jeff Adams, who came to speak to us at university at the end of last week. One person that he spoke about was John Dewey, who said that the most important attitude that can be formed is that of the desire to go on learning. That made me think about how do we instill that desire into pupils? How do we avoid negative attitudes in school and learning? And also, have we preoccupied ourselves as teachers with the end result of schooling, which is GCSEs and the need to leave with grade 5, grades A to C, of course. What about the production of a citizen, a member of society that is going to play a valued part in the world in which we live in? I'm not sure I agreed with all of Dewey's practice. He says that you should not enforce control, that teachers should not impose authority, and trying to link that back to my teaching, I'm finding it difficult to put that theory into practice. However, there are elements of his theory that I think are relevant to today's teaching and learning, and that I do agree with. And one of these is to achieve a high quality of experience. He argues that the progressive educational model requires even more organisation and contract between teacher and learner. And that is something that I have tried to bring to the classroom myself, an agreed set of rules that I am not enforcing to the children, that we collectively have agreed upon, and I have stuck them on the wall to remind pupils of their behaviour in the drama studio, what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing, and that ultimately they own their behaviour, and the choices that they make belong to them. In discussion with some fellow GTPs after the lecture, we agreed upon these 5 points, that pupil voice and rules of the classroom agreed together, and Dewey's idea of a democracy, and education should stimulate that process of a democracy. So taking the point that I just made earlier about agreeing the rules with the pupils, and they feel then that they own the space and more likely to behave within the space. And I think putting that into practice, there are elements of that, creating a democracy, which certainly have worked for me. The second point we made was that theory and practice don't always meet. So you can demonstrate learning through other means other than text. So especially in a subject such as drama, we can assess by practical work. But some other people were saying that you could even extend this into other subjects, i.e. maths. Should we be penalising pupils for using other means of learning? So we're actually looking at the subject and whether they are excelling in that, and not judging them on one particular type of learning through text. The third point we made was communities and learning, and we all agreed that children learn together, and we should allow children in the classroom time to talk to each other. Somebody Somebody else that Jeff talked about, Etienne Wenger, and he talked about social learning, and he says that they value their collective competence and learn from each other. And I think we can take this into the classroom, allowing pupils to talk to each other and learn from each other. So learning should not be a transmission of information in order to just pass a test. Wenger again says that we should not learning should not be viewed as simply transmission of abstract or and decontextualisation knowledge from one individual to another. And I think pupils should know why they are learning what they are learning. Pupils should know what the whole point of that lesson is. And if they know what the whole point of that lesson is, they're far more likely to be interested in learning. The fifth point we made was to link schools and link learning into the outside community. And we made some suggestions such as the Olympics and the summer riots and forest schools. And I think this is making learning relevant to pupils. Again, linking the outside community into the schools so pupils know what the whole point is. Wenger places an emphasis on the importance of communities being able to generate narrating that articulates their shared and contradictory world views. And I agree with him. He says if you diminish the community, learning will cease. So I think reflectively from this session this week, I have taken a lot from these theorists and put it into my own practice. And also I have taken some of their theories and realised that I've been using them already, and therefore has confirmed my own practice, taking the theory and putting it into practice.